All right. Okay, am I recording? Yes. So today we're going to start with creating a project in PhpStorm and deploying it to our website that we created last week and start the process of developing our learning PHP. So the first thing we want to do is when you start up PhpStorm, it's going to have a place where you can select a new project. And so I want you to create a new project, call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it CIS 230, which I've already done. And then you can select this little button here on the right to tell it where you want to store that project. And because of our school network setup here, do not store it on the C drive. Period. Don't do it. Because it's likely, if you can store it on the C drive, which shouldn't be possible, but apparently it is, other people can see it, can steal your code, you'll both be caught cheating, and you'll fail the assignment. So put it on your flash drive for now until we can get the network guys to fix that problem. So once you've created the project, it will look like this with a folder, and we can start adding files into this and things like that. So to start with, I want to set up, let's create a simple file, a PHP file. So not just a file, but a PHP file here on the right. And we'll call it test. And the extension is going to be automatically assigned to us as PHP. All right, so it creates a file. It creates this nice little comment block at the top. Those that had me for Ruby know that we created one of those. You can use that yourself, and you'll just edit. You can edit this and stuff. But for now, let's just put this, and we'll say I want to close the PHP. We'll talk about this in a minute, and just say hello world for now. So you have to put a question mark greater than sign, and we'll talk about this in a minute. That closes the PHP block here. And then this is just considered standard HTML. So will this be displayed by a browser? Yes. It doesn't have to have all this fancy HTML head, all that stuff. This will actually work, and we'll be able to see it. So now we want to get this file out to our development server that we set up last week. So to do that, we have to set up a deployment system. So PHPMind, under the little wrench here, this is the configuration settings. Let's click on that. And under deployment at the top on the left, there are two options. We just want to select the development, not the options. And we want to create, let's actually delete this guy so I can start over. We want to add a new server that we're going to be deploying on. Because we could have multiple servers associated with our project. You might, in a consultant arrangement, you might be developing 20 different clients at the same time. Each one has their own server. So this is going to be CIS 230 dev server. And that's just a name to let you know where you're deploying to. And then the type we want is FTP, File Transport Protocol. All right. So on the right now, we have to fill in some of these boxes. And the first one is the host. So this is going to be the name of your website with the subdomain as well. So I had you call it cis230dev.whatever your host name is.com. Mine is cis1scc.com. Yours is bigblue.com or whatever you guys created your domain when you signed up for DreamHost. Yeah, blank. That's probably taken. All right, the root path let's leave as a /. And the username is going to be your DreamHost username. So mine is SECDave, and I have a password that I'm going to put in, and it puts it in as asterisks. Once you put in your username and password, there's a button up here that says Test FTP Connection. We want to do that and see if we can actually connect. and it says successfully connected to whatever.com. All right? So we say OK. We're going to hit the apply button at the bottom and hit OK. Any questions before I move on from this? Everybody with me? Yes, Brandon. Just stretching. No other questions? Are we all with me here so far? No, not quite.
But I don't want to drag anyone down.
That's all right.
I'll catch up.
That's all right. I'll pause here. So we're going to apply that and say OK. Now on the right, should be showing our it doesn't show it. Remote host, do you guys see it? On the right, it should say next to database here on the right, it should say, we're over here, it should say remote host.
Oh, is that donut
Cool.
thing? Oh, donut.
So if you don't see the remote host on the side, if you go to Tools, Deployment, and Browse Remote Host, it will show up on the side now. Now it's got a little a button, and I can open and close that. Now what I wanted to show you is that what we told PhpStorm is where the root of our user directory is on DreamHost. And that's not where we want to save files. If I were to now save this file up here, it wouldn't be in the right directory. Remember that DreamHost lets us have multiple websites on the same user account. And so I wanted to show this to you. I've got like 6 of these websites all under that same user account that I signed in with. So underneath here, these are the roots. This is the root directory for your web server. So we want to actually tell it to save files one level down from where this is. So to do that, we want to go back to our tools, go to deployment, and we want to look at our CIS 230 dev, look at the mappings folder tab, and we want to tell it what is the path to our server. Now, if you look at this, the path is just going to be / and the name of your server that you're going to upload to. Now, you guys should have 2 here. You should have a 230 and a 230 dev, right? At least. Some of you might have more if you've created more websites. So we want to use CIS 230 dev dot whatever your domain name is .com. And the web path on the server, we want this to be just /. All right? Now, notice when I put this here, it put a / at the end of this URL. All right? If I take it away, it takes a /. If I say /Dave, that means it's going to put everything in a subdirectory on my web server, and I don't want that. I want everything just to be at the top level of my server, but in the file structure, it's got to be in this folder here. All right, so I say apply. I say OK. And now I can look at my dev folder, CIS 230 dev, and I should have, let me delete this guy. I should have 3 files, a favicon.gif, favicon.ico, and a quickstart.html. And you'll see that if I were to actually go to my site, CIS 230 dev dot whatever. This is the file, this quickstart.html is this file that's showing here. All right, everybody with me so far? Not working? Okay, so now I want to actually upload this file to the server so that I can see it on my web server, right? So to do that, one way is I can right-click on this file and say upload to CIS 230 dev. Dink. It'll actually upload, and I get an error, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I can see it over here now when I'm browsing the remote site. So this is actually in the remote server down in California in my web server. Now I can see that if I go and run from the browser /test.php. And I see my hello world. Isn't that great? Look at that. Shazam. Any questions on that? So I can right-click, upload to CIS230dev, and it will send it up there. But if we have our settings right, I can, this is Dave, PhpStorm will know when I leave PhpStorm, it's going to upload that file automatically. And I don't have the settings right, apparently. All right, so let's go fix that. Under the tools again, the deployment, under options now instead, to get rid of that error, failed to change the timestamp, we will uncheck preserve timestamps. All right, so we're unchecking that. That will get rid of that error. And the other thing is, we want to upload our changed files automatically to the default server. It has set to never. But I want to do it, I think I've gotten used to always. Or you can do it on an explicit save. When you save the file, it will upload it to the site. So it's up to you. I choose always. And I say apply and OK. And now when I make a change, when I click outside of here, it hasn't caught up with me because I haven't made a change. So I make a change to my file. I click on the browser. Come on. No. I'm watching this down here. It's not uploading the file. Yeah, why is that not showing up? All right, so let's stop my PhpStorm and restart it. Make sure the settings get set correctly again. Is it? That's what you mean deployment? Now I can't even get, when I didn't save my password, it's asking me for my password. So that might be okay. I only have to do it once. Hopefully that'll work. I have it set to always. It's the same thing. What do you mean? It's the same thing. Oh, you mean the... automatic always. All right, so let's see if it works now. All right, so now it's working. It picked up my change. Notice when I clicked out of PhpStorm, it automatically knows I switched applications, and it saved all those files for me automatically. I like that. I've gotten used to that. So I can go straight to this and reload my page, and you see my change happens now. So that's all public. I'm just typing away here, and I can add more code, click on my browser, wait for it to upload, reload my page, and I'm testing my code right away. Well, there we go. So within a couple seconds anyway, after the file is uploaded, I'm able to reload my page. All right, everybody with me there? Everybody can save a file to the server and look at it in their browser? Yes? No? Okay. So now that we have a connection, we can create new files here locally, and we can upload them to the server all using PhpStorm. We don't have to use any external program, and we have our browser open. So that's our programming environment. We have our browser to test the code, and we have our development over here to look at all of the files that we're working with. Okay? So let's create a folder to hold our CSS, for instance. So we can right-click and say New Directory, and we're going to call it CSS. And once I click away from that, you notice that the CSS folder was created on the remote host automatically for me. So I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. I can now create a new directory for my JavaScript. And it puts it out on the remote server. Isn't that great? I put what else do I need? Images, right, very good. So I put images. So those are the 3 folders I need for your program. Then I need to start with my web files, okay? I can create them manually if I want. I could create a new HTML file and call it index.html. And it automatically uploaded it over here, the new file. See that over here? Now that I have an index.html, this file will be overridden. And if I just go to my main website, take off the test.php, it's going to load my index.html file, which has nothing in it, right? This is Dave. That's my HTML. Doesn't really have anything in it. Isn't it pretty? And so there we go. So now the whole point is you've developed your website, and all we have to do is put it into this directory structure, and we're done with our first assignment. That's really simple. So I'm going to go through that with you. All right, so I'm going to use a template online because I'm not a good designer. And here's a good site that I've used in the past, freehtml5templates.com. And you can scroll through here and find a template that you like. I found one, I think it was on page 2. This one here, Principato HTML5 and CSS template. Now, if I look at this, I go to read more. If you look at this, I can view a demo. Why do you think this appeals to me? Because there's food, right? You that know me know that I love food, right? I'm addicted to food. I can't live without it for some reason. So, isn't that weird? It's very weird. So I'm going to use this one and for this quarter, just for fun. So what we have to do is download their entire file, and that has all their CSS and images and stuff. It gives me a good starting point. And if I download it, it gives me all of these files and folders in here, right? So I've got CSS, I've got images. It doesn't look like they have any JavaScript here, so I don't have to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is copy these files into my PhpStorm directory structure that I have here. So I'm going to drag and drop my index.html and put it in here, if it'll let me. Oh, it won't let me because this is a zip file. I'll have to, I have to extract my zip file and put it on my desktop. That might be easier. And now I can drag and drop my index straight in here. Should be able to work. Why is it not? Huh. This used to work. Huh. Why is it not working? That's interesting. Yes? Yeah, we'll see. I don't think so. So what we'll have to do is, that's strange because it works on RubyMine. So, does it work? Okay, so if I copy, go over here and say paste. Doesn't look like it's working. It's not working. Mine is not working. All right, so another way to do this, we just have to get these in this structure. I can right-click on the CIS 230 folder and say Show in Explorer. And why is that not even working? Holy cow, you got to be kidding me. Huh. All right, pause. So I have my two folders open. This is where my project is. This is the stuff I downloaded. I'm just going to copy these over into place. Copy and replace. I'm going to copy my entire CSS folder over. Yes. I'm going to copy my entire images folder over. Replace. All right, so now back into PhpStorm, I now have a CSS with the files that I downloaded from the site. All right? So I want to upload all of these changes, and it looks like it's already done that. Let's see, maybe not. Let's go look at my site. It might not have done that. So I log into my site. I go to the index.html page. I reload that page, and I don't get anything. So I'm going to, the first time we make some of these massive changes, we want to upload them to the dev site. So I can click on the entire 230 folder and say upload everything to the dev site. And it's going to sit there and collect the files and upload the files. It might take a minute or two. Okay, any questions on what I've done here so far? See, it's uploading. It's almost done. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Look at that. So I can reload my page, and I should have the entire thing now, the whole template on the website, displaying it publicly. Isn't that great? Look at that. And all these links don't do anything. They go to some place that doesn't exist yet. And we're going to have to now modify these links to have what I required on my assignment, which are the About Us, the Contact, the Products, the Articles, Login, etc., the blogs, all of that. You're going to have to modify this HTML to fix that. All right? And so to do that, you're going to have multiple files. So I can copy this and paste it and call this one blogs.html. All right, so now I've got two files that are identical, and I just have to change the navigation here. Let's change one of these. Instead of forum, I'm going to call it blogs. All right, so this is just standard HTML. Where is my href going to change to? Blogs.html, very good. Blogs.html. And if I save that or click out, uploads automatically. Reload my page. Now my forum. Oh, what? Right here. See, it says blogs. So if I click on blogs, now it's going to go to blogs.html and my blog works. But my forum doesn't, right? I'm going to have to change that on every page. And that reminds you of how difficult it is to define websites with static pages, which we will not do in PHP. But I would edit one of these navs to get your nav right, and then copy and paste this into every other HTML file.
I missed the scaffolding.
Yes, I know. All right. Any questions on that? That's enough, I think, for you to know what to do for the Wednesday project. That's all I want you to do. Just get something up and running with the nav working.
You want us to have two host sites that we...
Two host sites, right.
I just emailed you my host sites because I finally figured out what was wrong with the first one.
Okay, got it working? Good.
It needed a www.